So I spent much of my adult career working with young people who were in some way impacted by the foster care system. And as you imagine, there's lots of traumatic and challenging stories. And there's also some really successful ones. One in particular that I can think of was Art. And Art was a young man who was very determined to make a better life, a better future for himself. So he took advantage of every opportunity available to him. Well, I happened to run into Art probably about 4 years ago, just in Omaha. And he was with a group of his friends, and I hadn't seen him in a handful of years. But he wanted me to meet his friends. And so he said, "This is Doug, and Doug has helped me pursue college. He's encouraged me to stay in school even when I didn't want to. He encouraged me to get my college degree," which he did, by the way. And then he said something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, "I'd take a bullet for this guy. I'd take a bullet for this guy." I've been introduced in a lot of ways in my life. I'm not sure I've ever heard it better. It was so humbling. Because what was Art saying? He was saying that he's got my back, that he would protect me, that he was loyal. And if I'm truly honest, this loyalty that he gave to me was not deserved. It really was not. But he gave it anyway. Who does that remind us of? So my younger sister, Gina, different story. She sent a text to all the siblings and their spouses. This is about 2 years ago. And it was pretty matter of fact, because she's pretty matter of fact. And it said, "Just so you know, there's a young girl in Maggie's class." Maggie's her 4th grade daughter, 4th grade at the time. There's a young girl in Maggie's class who needs a kidney transplant. I'm a match, and I'm going to donate my kidney. Now, the story is that my sister has been a transplant nurse for 20 years. So she knew what she was taking on. She knew the risk of the anesthesia and the surgery. And best case scenario, a 6-week recovery. And yet, she said yes. My first response, if I'm honest, was, "No. What about your health?" But she saw that she could give something of herself to give this girl a better life, a healthier life, a longer life. Now, there's nothing that this little girl could have done to earn this, but it was a gift freely given. I don't know this little girl's family, but if I had to guess, I'll bet they're thankful each and every day for the generosity of my sister. Who does that remind you of? So why do I tell those 2 stories? Because to me, they're glimpses into who the Good Shepherd is. The Good Shepherd. Art is loyal. The Good Shepherd is fiercely loyal. My sister Gina gave a gift of herself. The Good Shepherd gives himself totally, completely for you and for me In our gospel that we heard, Jesus says that I will lay down my life 5 times. He lays down his life for you and for me. We don't deserve it. You didn't. You can't earn it. And yet he freely gives of himself so that we can be free, so that we can be saved. You know, you might not necessarily like the comparison with us and sheep, because if any of you have ever worked with sheep, they're kind of not the brightest animals. But it really is a good comparison, because sheep are very vulnerable. They don't have claws and fangs. They can't run fast. They can't climb trees. Sheep need a shepherd to be saved. We need Jesus to be saved.